Yo, yo, what's good? Welcome to the Broken Clock Podcast. I am Jabari. Please, real quick, subscribe, hit like, comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you love, tell me what you hate, and please hit that notification bell so you can see whenever I drop. I know I've been saying this the last couple episodes and I haven't been doing it yet, but I will be dropping more frequently. There's so many movies I want to talk about, so many TV shows, so I will be talking about way more things. Music, of course. Shout out to my Rockefeller Records crew neck I got from tpublic.com. They are the best website I think for stuff like this. You know what I mean? Just like kind of vintage, kind of, cult fan base stuff. You know what I mean? This is, I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, huge Kanye, Rockefeller fan. So this is like everything to me. But please hit that notification bell. Please hit that notification bell. And if you don't hit that notification bell, you're a hater. You're a hater and you don't want me to succeed. You're definitely a hater if you don't hit that notification bell, okay? I'm not anti-hate. You know what I mean? Like you can hate on me. I might be somebody you need to hate on. Just keep listening, but just know you're a hater if you don't hit that notification bell. And if you hit that notification bell, that means you love me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who's listened. If you listen to every episode, I appreciate it. Every drop, every video I put out, whatever. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it. I love doing this. You know what I mean? I can't wait to get into doing to it. I can't wait to get into doing it more. This is a little bit busy time for me, but you know what I mean? I really don't do anything. When I get off work, all I do is watch movies or watch the NBA. You know what I mean? Watch sports, you know what I mean? So a little transparency to start. I know I promised Uncut Gems this week. I didn't do it, but I will do it. I have to do that movie. You know what I mean? That's gonna be my first movie. I want to set that. That is gonna be the first movie I break down and deep dive. Um, and I'm definitely gonna talk more music soon. You know what I mean? The Grammys just announced their Grammy nominations. I don't care. I never will care about the Grammys. I did care about the Grammys at one point, and then Taylor Swift 1989 won over to Pimp a Butterfly for Album of the Year. And I said, I will no longer care about the Grammys. It obviously doesn't matter. Um, yeah, that's really it for transparency. Something I want to I was gonna call like a segment or something I do daily jots, like just stuff that I think about throughout the day. Something that just annoys me every year the older I get, the talk about it is what really annoys me. It annoys me the way it annoys other people, but the talk and the confusion is just unnecessary to me. Something that is so annoying to me is people complaining about the weather. People complaining about the weather is one of the most annoying things to me, man. I live in Atlanta. I live in Georgia. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. It's November 8th. It's a Saturday afternoon. It's a nice day today. It rained last night. I think it's supposed to rain later tonight, but it's nice right now. My point being is October, November, what happens? It happens in New York too. It happens almost everywhere. But people every year get confused and annoyed. I don't know if it's because they got so much stuff going on where it's like they just gotta I don't understand. So it's probably a combination of a lot of things, but you have most mornings where it's 40 degrees. It's cold. You need to wear a jacket, at least. It's cold. You know what I mean? If you're working in the cold, you could get sick. You know what I mean? And then what happens around 1 o'clock? It gets warm. Well, you can start sweating if you're working outside. You know what I mean? Or just in general, like it's weird. This is weird. Happens the same thing in the springtime. It's the same thing. And it breaks people's brains. People can't understand it. People don't know how to adjust. You know what I mean? Like it just breaks people's brains. Like the fact that it's cold in the morning and 75 degrees by 3 o'clock, that confuses people. It's annoying to it's annoying to me. But complaining about it and talking about it, and it's just like I go to work in the morning, it's all people talk about every year. It's like, oh my God, it's cold, and I'm like, how I'm carrying this jacket, and I'm just like, yo, man, this is like, no, you're not used to this shit. I'm used to it. I'm used, and I love this time of year weather-wise. I love when it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 67 degrees. That's like perfect weather to me. You could wear pretty much anything in that weather. I love it. You know what I mean? But people just complaining about the weather is like one of my pet peeves as an adult. I just hate it. Um, so that's it for that. That was like one of my daily jots, just something that I was complaining about. Real quick. So this on this episode on this drop, I'm gonna do NBA Ramble. Definitely, it's not gonna be too long. Like this video, I don't want this video to be longer than like 35 minutes. Um, I'm gonna definitely do NBA Ramble, and I want to do something called What I Watched. Stuff I watched recently. Obviously yesterday, Friday, today Saturday. Yesterday, the Michael Jackson trailer dropped. The movie is titled Michael. It's coming out April 24th, 2026. And really quick, it's coming up really soon. That was something that I was thinking about. Like, I definitely thought we were gonna get a Super Bowl trailer like this year for the movie coming out in April 26th. I thought we were gonna get a Super Bowl trailer or NBA Finals trailer, something like where it's a bunch of eyes. Where like usually movies they gas movies up, especially this is a Lionsgate movie, $155 million budget. Okay, this is a big movie. This is gonna be a big movie. I thought we would get a trailer way before. April is gonna come really quick. April's gonna be here really, really quick. That's gonna be a great time. I think that's a great time for a movie to come out. It's gonna be NBA playoff time. It's gonna be. I can't wait to break that movie down. I can't wait to talk about the movie as it's coming out. The trailer looked great. I liked the trailer. The trailer was dope. I liked it. Um, I can't wait for the movie, man. Antoine Fuqua is the director of the movie. That's something where I watched the trailer for the first time this morning. I didn't watch it yesterday. I seen people going crazy about it. I watched it right before I did this. When I saw Antoine Fuqua was directing it, I didn't see that leading up to this movie. I didn't see anybody say that. If I did, I missed it. I definitely probably just missed it. Antoine Fuqua, man. I mean, that was shout out to that brother, man. Like, wow, I was shocked to see that. I didn't think I would see Spike Lee. Obviously, we would have been heard about that. I didn't think Martin Scorsese was going to do it or anything like that. Like, I just was shocked to see Antoine Fuqua's name up there. I wouldn't say he's a legendary director, but definitely a director where you love his movies. You love Training Day. Training Day is a bona fide classic. It gave Denzel his first Oscar. You know what I mean? I think his only Oscar for best actor. Um, that's one of my favorite movies. I love Ethan Hawke in that movie. You know, the more I watch Training Day, I'm like, Ethan Hawke obviously Denzel is 2000 Shaq in that movie. Obviously, he's so dominant, but Ethan Hawke is so good in that movie, man. But Antoine Fuqua, he did Training Day. He did Brooklyn's Finest, which I remember going. I think my stepdad took me to see that movie, and I was hyped to see that movie because I love Training Day. And Brooklyn's Finest was like the reverse Training Day. Training Day was in L.A. This was in New York, and Ethan Hawke is playing the Denzel character in Training Day. He's the crooked cop. Sorry to spoil it a little bit. He's the, in the movie, just like Don Cheadle's in the movie. It's not that good of a movie, but I like it. You know what I mean? I liked it. You know what I mean? But basically, Antoine, he also did The Equalizer, Fuqua. So he's obviously a credited, talented, really good director. You know what I mean? I mean, this movie is gonna be huge. I'm telling y'all, if y'all are not prepared, this movie is gonna be big. This is gonna be anything. This is gonna be the thing people talk about when it comes out. Everybody's gonna see it. I'm gonna go see it the first Thursday it comes out. This is a little complaint I had, or not a complaint, just a curiosity of this started in my era. You know what I mean? I remember when I was in high school, when movies would come out, like let's say the big Avengers movie, like the first Avengers in 2012. Whatever Friday it came out, it really came out the day before, Thursday. But it would be like Thursday night. It would be like a 7 o'clock movie, a 10 o'clock, and a midnight. And I didn't know anybody else in my life that was doing that but me. You know what I mean? I was the only person going the day before to see movies, and people would think I was lying to them about like, I'm going to see the new such and such movie tonight. I thought it'd come out tomorrow, but they show it tonight. People still kind of don't know that now. My point in saying that is now, like I was talking about when I was in high school, 2012 time. Now, if it's any like that was the Avenger, that was a big blockbuster summer movie. You know what I'm saying? Now it's any movie that comes out, whatever Friday it says is coming out, you could go see it pretty much at any time on Thursday. I don't know why they just don't say the movie comes out on Thursday. I don't get it. I don't understand it. They just somebody got to explain that to me. I don't understand it. But back to the Michael movie. The cast, I knew this. This movie's been talked about for like 5 years now, like around COVID time, maybe even before COVID. I think I remember Lionsgate being attached to it, and people been talking about this movie for a long time. Definitely for at least a couple years. Michael Jackson's nephew, Jafar Jackson, will be starring, playing him as upper teenage to adult Michael in this movie, which is pretty big for his nephew to be doing that. Jafar, pretty dope name. Miles Teller's in this movie. Miles Teller, who's one of the best actors of my generation, who's gonna be playing his attorney. Nia Long is playing Katherine Jackson, who's playing the mom. Lorenz Tate is Barry Gordy. I can't wait to see that. I didn't see him in the trailer at all, I don't think. But I can't wait. I don't know how much he's gonna be in the movie. I didn't see anything about how long the movie's supposed to be, the runtime or anything. I hope it's not like a 3.5 hour movie. Not that I wouldn't like that. That's gonna turn people off. My gut reaction is, why not make like a 5-part HBO, Warner Brothers line. I don't know, just something where, because I don't know if you could tell the right Michael Jackson story in 2 hours or 2.5 hours. But Lorenz Tate is Barry Gordy. I can't wait to see. And Derek Luke is in this movie, playing Johnny Cochran. Derek Luke, who was like, when I was like a little kid, Derek Luke was supposed to be the next Denzel Washington. They literally put him in a movie. What was that movie called? Who directed that movie? The Denzel Derek Luke movie. What was that movie? I gotta figure out what that movie was now. Because that movie, it was a movie like he was like, sorry, but he was touched as a kid, and he went back to confront his, the person who did that to him. And what was that movie called? That's gonna break my. I gotta figure out what that movie was. It's probably people screaming like, "It's this movie," and my iPad is really slow. I'll figure out what that movie was. But Derek Luke in this movie is big. That was like, my point is, he was supposed to be he was supposed to be the guy. I remember he played Diddy in the Notorious movie, which I didn't like. Did not like that movie. In the theater, I didn't like that Notorious Biggie movie. I was like, what is this? I did not like it. It was like a joke to me. I gotta find out what this Derek Luke movie was. I'm too determined. I gotta find out. Back to the little transparency. I am sipping on a hard seltzer, so if you see me like burp to myself a little bit, that's what it is. Antoine Fisher. That's what I did. Thought that's what it was, but I was thinking Antoine Fuqua. I don't you know what I mean? But Antoine Fisher, that movie was like huge. That movie was like, like big in the black community for sure. Anything Denzel was in, and it was kind of like, this is the next Denzel, Derek Luke. Like, this is gonna be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is gonna be the next guy. And Derek Luke was a really good actor. He was in a really bad movie that I liked as a kid, but when you get older, you realize how terrible it is. Biker Boys. Oh my god, that movie's terrible. But like Lawrence Fishburne and is like a biker gangster. Is so ridiculous, so bad. But yeah, I can't wait for this movie, man. Like I said, Nia Long in the movie. Nia Long is she's one of the best black actresses of my time. And I see I don't know who this guy is, but shout out to you, brother. Kendrick Sampson is playing Quincy Jones. I would argue the second most important role in this movie. Quincy Jones is, rest in peace, Quincy Jones. If you haven't watched the Quincy Jones documentary on Netflix, please go watch it. And then go watch the Black Godfather Clarence Avant documentary. Go watch those documentaries back to back. Those are two of the best documentaries on Netflix. But Quincy Jones, I mean, Kendrick Sampson, from the trailer, I wasn't blown away. He was wearing he's wearing like a bucket hat. Never seen Quincy Jones wear bucket hats, but I'm pretty sure he did. I can't wait to watch this movie, man. The trailer looked great. Go watch the trailer. I don't even like trailers. I don't like being teased, and I just give me the movie. And this is Michael Jackson. You don't need to gas up Michael Jackson, but I get you do. Like I said, this is Lionsgate. Lionsgate's about to. Did they open it up, or they about to build that big movie studio? I don't remember how much it was supposed to cost, but excuse me, that they're building a new movie studio, Lionsgate in New Jersey. New Jersey, what is New Jersey up to? They're building a big Lionsgate studio, And then Netflix is building like some $1 billion studio, soundstage studio there. You know what I mean? What is Netflix about to do? You know what I mean? So that was something I watched. You know what I mean? I can't wait. Michael Jackson, man. Saying like, am I a Michael Jackson fan? I don't know. Like who? Like what does that mean? I don't even know. Like I'm well versed in Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is the soundtrack to my life and everybody in my life. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like, am I a fan? I'm not a fanatic over really anything like that, except for the NBA, to be honest. Jay Z. You know what I mean? Like, so it's, it's like I don't even know if what am I a fan? You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel the same way about Drake too. Like, am I a Drake fan? I'm well versed. You can't tell me nothing about Drake. I love Nothing Was the Same, but am I a fan? I think people say they're a fan just to be a part of stuff. You know how many Drake fans I meet? I know way more about Drake than them, like musically. They don't listen to Drake songs like that. They just listen to the Drake songs they like. People like stuff and say they love it. They like stuff and they like it a lot, so they'll tell people, "I'm a fan. I love. I'm crazy about. I'm passionate." No, you like being a part of that, which is fine. But like, I shouldn't. I don't even know if I'm a Drake fan, so I shouldn't walk up to somebody and they say they're a Drake fan, and I'm putting you on the Drake stuff you never heard before, or Drake stuff you're not well versed in. Is weird to me. Um, but I can't wait, man. April 2024, I can't wait. Another thing I watched, and then this will be it. Um, on HBO on Thursday, they released I think it's supposed to be 3 parts of the Alex Rodriguez documentary. I root for the Yankees a lot. I'm a Yankee fan, obviously. I did not expect for an Alex Rodriguez part 1 of a documentary to get me like a little emotional. Like it legit had me like, wow, like this is like touching. Like it was really good. A lot of good baseball stuff in there, man. Like it was really good doc. Go watch it, man. I'm gonna definitely talk about the next part next week. It was really good, man. I told a lot of people to watch it. It was really good. So that was that was really the only 2 things I watched this week. Is that doc and the Michael Jackson trailer and a bunch of NBA. That's really all I watched. So let's get in the NBA ramble, man. I've been going about 17 minutes. I only want to go about 10, 15 minutes longer. Real quick, man. I don't know if I did mention this on my welcome video. I think I definitely did it in my test video, which nobody saw. But obviously, but the Ringer. The Ringer, who is founded and owned and ran by Bill Simmons, which is my idol. Somebody who is who I'm low key auditioning for. Please, The Ringer, hire me. I have no experience, but hire me. You know what I'm saying? I love The Ringer. I don't know anybody who's a bigger fan of The Ringer than me. I listen to at least like 2 Ringer pods a day, at least. You know what I mean? Like I'm a huge, and obviously Bill Simmons is the GOAT to me. He is the greatest podcaster ever. He's the first podcaster ever. Bill Simmons' first podcast, and he was calling it a podcast, came out in May 2007. His third podcast episode was Marv Albert. It was like 20. You go listen to it right now on YouTube. Bill Simmons Marv Albert podcast, and it was the morning after. Marv Albert is still in his hotel room. Sounded like he was laying down, and he's talking about the LeBron 48 special game in Detroit that he had when he beat Detroit by himself, scored the last 30 points for his team. That game, Bill Simmons and Marv Albert are talking about that game on his podcast. It's like his third or fourth episode. Bill Simmons is the GOAT, is my point. The Ringer, been a fan of since day one. I used to listen to Grantland back in the day. ESP, that was like legend. That was like stuff that like I didn't even appreciate at the time like I should have. Like now I think back like, man, like the Ringer is that now. Barstool is Barstool kind of market corrected Grantland in a way. Like, you know what I mean? I mean you can say the Ringer did it, but the Ringer is a whole nother thing to me. But Grantland is what created a lot of the stuff we have now. A lot of the content we have now, and not just sports and everything, comes from Grantland. Like, let's talk about movies, music, and sports all at once. There wasn't that many people doing that in 2012, 2011, 13. It wasn't 20 people doing that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to go too long about this, but Ryan Russillo Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo are the Siskel and Ebert of talking basketball. Siskel and Ebert, the two most famous movie critics of all time. They had so many different shows, and you've definitely heard the name Siskel and Ebert before. Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo, for like the last 5-6 years, have been the Siskel and Ebert of basketball talk. Whenever they start talking basketball after the All-Star break into the free agency, it's like the best thing ever. Ryan Russillo started, I don't remember exactly when he started working at ESPN, but he started to become a personality at ESPN around 2016, 17. He would do Scott Van Pelt show. Really before that, 2014, really. He'll be on Scott Van Pelt show. He got his own radio show in 2017 that I used to listen to. I used to listen to like these bootleg clips that used to come on. They used to be on YouTube. Like somebody used to bootleg them and put them on. They're still on there too. You go find them. But I became a Ryan Russillo fan. I was a Colin Cowherd fan. Bill Simmons brought on Zach Lowe to Grantland and ESPN. You know what I mean? These are dudes who are the best at what they do now. And I was a fan of them then. My point is, Russillo and Bill kind of developed a relationship at ESPN. And in 2015, when Bill Simmons leaves ESPN, he starts The Ringer. And in 2018 was the first time Ryan Russillo went on Bill Simmons' podcast. And then 2018, he signs to The Ringer. Ryan, and signs to The Ringer, and he becomes like the best person on The Ringer. That's not a initial. He was the best signing of The Ringer. He was the star. Ryan is funny. Ryan is really sarcastic. You know what I mean? He's great. Ryan really knows hip hop. Ryan is like the best, man. And I became I honestly wouldn't even say I was a fan as much as I just kept up with him when he was at ESPN. I became a fan of Ryan Russillo when he joined The Ringer. And then him and Bill always doing pods together, jumping on each other's stuff. They became a great duo, man. They became a really great duo. And long story short, 2025, starting early 2025, Ryan Russillo starts talking on his podcast about how his contract is up at The Ringer. He's just talking about it on his podcast. I'm not thinking much of it. You gonna resign? Where you gonna go? Back to ESPN? Fox? Long story short, Ryan Russillo dropped his first podcast last week. No, earlier this week on Barstool. He joined Barstool. I'm not a Barstool fan. I don't think that content is for me. I don't think Barstool is for me. In my opinion, I'll tell y'all who I think their content is for. Their content is for like frat bros, white frat bros. It's not for me. They don't. Do I like Part of My Take? Busting with the Boys was cool. It was cool. It's funny. Like I get it. It's just not. Those like Barstool. They came out early as is we're gonna hate LeBron James. We're gonna anything LeBron does bad. We're gonna be the first people on it. I don't know why they didn't hire Skip Bayless. You know, seriously, I'm dead. Especially now. They probably did. I just don't support people who just. I got a LeBron topic later, but back to Ryan and Bill. Bill and Ryan broke up. Ryan announced about a month ago that he was going to Bar. It came out that he was going to Barstool, that he announced it. And like I said earlier this week, he put out his first video. He put out his first episode on Barstool. I think he's dropping 3 days a week on Barstool. It's a breakup. It's a real breakup. Obviously, because Bill and Ryan won't be doing content together on The Ringer anymore. But another thing is they're not acknowledging each other. They're not talking about each other. They're obviously beefing. It's obviously a real thing. Two producers who frequently talk on Ryan's pod is Cerruti. His name is Cerruti. He was at ESPN with Ryan. He was one of the producers on Ryan's pod. And another producer on Ryan's pod since the time he joined The Ringer was Kyle Creighton. Kyle Creighton, who is Bill Simmons' nephew. Yeah. Bill Simmons' nephew is right now with Ryan Russillo at Barstool. So Ryan, when he started his podcast on The Ringer, bought on Kyle to be a producer. And when he left to go to Barstool, he took Kyle with him. And that's crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. Again, I don't know nothing. Nobody knows anything. I look up stuff every day. There's no talk. They're keeping this. Both sides, Ryan and Bill, are keeping this really quiet. There's been no disrespect, but Ryan has had so many statements that he's tweeted, that he's had videos about. He hasn't even mentioned Bill Simmons. He mentioned The Ringer. He mentioned Kurt Goldsberry, who's at The Ringer now. Where I was like, wow, you mentioned somebody that works at The Ringer. It's obviously a beef. I don't know if it's a beef with Bill Simmons and The Ringer or a beef with just Spotify, because allegedly Ryan couldn't keep his IP. So basically, everything Ryan did with The Ringer is The Ringer's. Ryan doesn't own any of that. I think that's crazy. I don't understand that. And if Bill's a part of that, if Bill stood with Spotify on that, Spotify, who gave Bill Simmons a lot of money and purchased The Ringer in 2020, like right when COVID started, you know what I mean? I could see that being a beef. Like if Bill is standing next to Spotify and not standing with Ryan in that situation, I could see it being a beef and getting personal and getting messy. And it's not messy, but it's weird. As a fan of them, it's weird, and I need answers. I need answers really quick. Another thing, and then I'm beginning the NBA ramble. I'm not gonna go too much longer. I'm gonna try not to go too much longer. An announcement that kind of got leaked a couple weeks ago, and I just didn't believe it. And then Bill Simmons finally announced it. The Ringer is about to launch a new podcast before the year is up. I don't know what the title of the podcast is, but the two hosts of the podcast will be Max Kellerman, formerly ESPN, probably the greatest HBO boxing commentary person they've ever had to this day. Like, he was a godsend for that Bud Crawford and Canelo fight. He was so great on that. It was just good to see him. It was like a glass of cold water, man. It was just refreshing. Max Kellerman and Rich Paul. Rich Paul, one of probably the biggest agent in sports right now, owner of Clutch Sports, LeBron James agent, Jalen Hurts agent, Anthony Davis agent, like one of the biggest agents we've had in the last decade in sports, is starting a podcast with Max Kellerman on The Ringer. Why is this so crazy? One, the biggest agent starting a podcast. Bro, how busy are you? Like, how do you have time to do this? It's obviously going to be a remote podcast, I'm assuming, where they're on Zoom doing it or on a Riverside like I'm doing now. I don't know. I'm assuming that's how they're going to do it. I don't know how Rich is going to have time to do this. And is so Bill had announced it on his pod last Sunday, and he said it's going to be like every pod, the same pod I'm doing, but they're going to talk about sports and culture. I don't know what culture is. Do I talk culture? I don't understand what that means. I don't care. I love Max Kellerman. Rich Paul's a legend. What's so weird about it is Bill Simmons and Rich Paul have had like a beef for like a decade now. Like a pretty open beef. Like, Bill Simmons has made so many Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, LeBron, Bronny James jokes over the last decade that it's like not. And this is why Bill is so great. He has said personal things about people, but his critiques of LeBron have never been personal, ever. And his critiques of Clutch have never been personal. He's never taken personal shots at Rich. He just talks about stuff that he doesn't like. And he makes a lot of jokes. I will say that. It's a lot of jokes. A lot of jokes that I know Rich has heard. And Bill said that him and Rich spoke over the phone, and it was a thing of, Bill thought Rich didn't like him. Rich thought, that type of talk, Bill. And I'm not falling for that. I don't think they like each other still. Well, I don't think Bill didn't dislike Rich. There's no way Rich likes Bill. I just don't believe that. If Rich Paul heard the stuff that I've heard that Bill has said about LeBron and Clutch and Rich, there's no way Rich is like, not that he got beef with him or he hate him or he can't work with him. It's no way he likes him though. I don't know if I could ever like somebody that made some of the jokes that not saying I can't be cool with you or work with you, but being like I'ma like you and yo, come on the pod. I don't see how that's gonna happen. I can't wait to see the dynamic, man. It's gonna be dope. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the title of it. It sounded like he was saying it was definitely going to drop this month, but definitely by the end of the year. So I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Finally, NBA Ramble officially. NBA Ramble. I'm gonna go for like the next like 15 minutes, and that's it. I ain't trying to go too much longer. My number one thing I have here is the Mavericks, man. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's This is kind of predictable. Not like this though. I would say I thought the Mavs would win like 48 to 50 games. I thought the roster was too good, and I think they got a good coach. I think Anthony Davis is a top 10 player. I don't even remember I had on my top 10 players going into the season, but they're 2-6, right? No, they're 2-7, and they just lost to the Grizzlies last night. The Grizzlies, who they're not a good team, and they kind of dominated the Mavericks last night. I didn't watch too much NBA basketball last night. My apologies. I was watching a lot of the Rockets Spurs game, but I can't talk about it too much because I didn't watch it that much. But the Mavericks, man, like Bill Simmons has been saying this for a long time. There should definitely be some type of rule that you can't have the number one pick or a top 3 pick 2 years in a row. That's ridiculous because that's malpractice from an organization at that point. You're a bad organization, and we're rewarding you for being a bad organization. I don't like to call for nobody's job to be took, but Nico Harrison, I'm assuming, I hate pocket watching too. I'm assuming that dude has made a lot of money. He was a higher up at Nike basketball for a long time. He's one of the few people that Kobe actually liked on this planet. You know what I'm saying? He's one of Kobe's friends. And he's been the GM of the Mavs for a long time. I thought he did good. I thought he's been doing great with the Mavs. You know what I mean? Them letting Jalen Brunson go wasn't that good, but they drafted Derek Lively, a hit. And that Daniel Gafford trade got him to the finals 2 years ago, or last year. You know what I mean? In the 2024 finals. So good GM. The Luka trade erased all of that, all of it. And then the stuff you're saying afterwards about basically saying he know what he's doing, and it was just bad. I mean, Kyrie tears his ACL. You know what I mean? And then people going into the season are just talking about the Mavs like the Mavs are gonna be right back when Kyrie comes back. I think people forgot that Kyrie tore his ACL. Like people in barbershops, I think they forgot because people were just talking like the Mavs. The Mavs are contender. Stephen A. went on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn like the Mavs is they got the best roster in the league. What? Like this is like Stephen A. Smith said that. I'm not a Stephen A. Smith hater, but that was just ridiculous. It's like, what? So Kyrie's just going to come back in January and February and be 25 a game, 20 a game? He's old, man. With Kyrie 34, 35, 36. He was in the 2011 draft. AD was in the 2012 draft. You traded for AD because you believe in defense, and that's one thing. And the Mavs are still decent on defense. You know what I mean? They got so many big dudes, and they got a really good coach, but. And I'm not even going with the street clothes Anthony Davis thing. I'm not even doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not even going to do that. But Anthony Davis gets hurt. He's going to get a nagging injury where he has to miss 2-3 weeks for a month throughout the season for every season. So when you make that trade, that has to be in that math equation. Like you can't just assume Anthony Davis is going to be 75 games this year. Like that trade was terrible. The Mavs are in a terrible situation. They're playing Cooper Flag at point guard. And I still believe in Cooper Flag. This is a classic situation of he's in a bad situation right now. And the Mavs are like the worst team in the league right now. Which is crazy because the Pelicans are right there like, hey, no, we're bad and we have a worse GM than you. We have Joe Dumars. We have a worse GM than you, Mavs. But the Mavs like, no, we want to be worse than you guys. Like it's so the NBA, like this is why like Bill Simmons used to have. I know I keep mentioning Bill Simmons, but he's my favorite. You know what I mean? But he used to have this bad GM summit, or he used to talk about the new owner syndrome. These people who just come into the NBA in all sports, but they just do the worst decisions that they could. Like Nico could have called me before that Luka trade, and I would have said, "Bro, that's terrible." You feel what I'm saying? Jason Kidd could have called me and said, "Yo, we're thinking about playing Cooper Flag at point guard. What do you think?" I would have said, "No, bro. He's a rookie. I don't even care how good of a playmaker I think he is a really good playmaker. And he is going to be, not now, not your first game against the Spurs. Don't play him at point. You know what I mean? It's just really bad. I think they're in a bad situation. And I love watching the dumpster fire, though. I do. The team that they got killed by last night, the Grizzlies. And John Morant is just in a really bad situation, really bad body language the last week or so from Ja. You could argue last year or so from Ja, and I'm a Ja supporter for sure. I'm rooting for Ja. I still think Ja could be the second best player on the championship team. I don't think he could be the best player anymore, but I think he could be the second best player on the championship team, and he got to get it together. He got to figure it out. It's not good. The quotes are not good, and when the organization is backing the coach, I've seen this too many times. I've just seen it too many times. When an organization is backing the coach, that means you're on your own, bro. Figure it out. Either join the party or leave, or we'll figure. You know what I mean? Like, so I did something. I'll go over it real quick. I did do I have it on here? I did a 2019 redraft, the 2019 draft that has Zion Williamson, RJ Barrett, Ja. I did a redraft because Ja's value is just tanked, and I did a 2019 redraft just to see like where he would be at. Where is he at now? You know what I mean? Just take a shot every time I mention Bill Simmons, but Bill Simmons, known as the trade value guy, he would do these trade value columns, and like, who has more trade value right now, Dylan Harper or John Morant? It's Dylan Harper. Obviously, Ja's better, but I don't think the Spurs would swap that right now. I don't think that they would do that. Darius Garland probably has more trade value than Ja right now. Ja's better, way better. Not way better, but he's better. But so my 2019 redraft, I'm gonna just do the lottery picks for the first 14 picks. I have Darius Garland going number 1. I still got John Morant too. And I had Tyler Hero 3, Zion Williamson 4, and RJ Barrett 5. So I still have Ja 2. I still think Ja has more value than Tyler Hero. Even though Tyler Hero was great last year. And then 6, I have Rui Hachimura. 7, PJ Washington. 8, Kobe White. I really like PJ. I really like PJ. Like, I think he's just a really good all-around player. But I love Kobe White too. 9, Jordan Poole. 10, Cam Johnson. 11, Nick Claxton. 12, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. 13, Keldon Johnson. And 14, Daniel Gafford. Good draft, 2019 draft. All those players are like rotation dudes. Like, but my point in doing that is I just think Ja, I mean, dude, in 2022, Grizzlies fan could definitely be like, bro, we could have won the chip. We could have went to the finals. We could, you know what I mean? Like, we that Grizzlies team went up by like 50 points on the Warriors without John Morant, and that Warriors team won the championship that year. My point in saying that is like, Ja, like, you had it. They were giving it to you. Ja has the best selling shoes at Nike right now. Memphis just put in, I don't remember the dollar amount, but they did the arena over. They did downtown Memphis over around the arena. Ja Morant sells tickets. He's one of the biggest ticket sellers in the league. He's one of the highest jersey sellers every year, top 10 every year. He's a star. He's a legit NBA star, bona fide. That's why I don't think they're going to trade him. Because I think the owner's going to come in like, no. Even if the GM or coaches are like, trade him, we got this great package, whatever. I think the owner's going to be like, either we're getting a star back who could sell tickets or we're not trading him. And I don't think that, I didn't go into the trade machine and do my due diligence on that, but I just don't see I don't see what team is giving up their star to swap for Ja. I just don't see that happening. So Ja got to get together. The Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson, take another step or no? You're not gonna take another step? Like, take another step and stop. You and Karl Anthony Towns have got to stop doing these where you clearly fouled the guy and looking at the ref like this. You click like Jaren Jackson is one of the most frustrated defensive players to watch, who's actually a really good defender. Like, Cat's actually a bad defender. I don't get why Jaren Jackson had the things he had. One thing I want to talk about, next thing on my list, and I didn't see anybody have this take but me. So Miles Turner, who signed with the Bucks in the offseason, drafted in 2015, played his whole career with the Indiana Pacers, went to the finals, went to games, almost won a championship with the Pacers, that the team he got drafted with, spent his whole career with. He was an unrestricted free agent. Well, he was a free agent. signs with the Bucks, kind of not a rival, but a team that y'all just battle in the playoffs. Goes there, returns to Indiana earlier this week, and he gets booed. And it obviously hurt him, kind of broke his heart. You can kind of see it in the press conference. He wasn't shy about it. He said it hurt him. It bothered him. And shout out to Miles Turner. He's an Aries too. I think his birthday is like 2 days. I think he's March 28th, 1996. I'm March 26th, 1996. So shout out to you. You know what I mean? But I think Miles Turner deserved to get booed. I saw people, oh my God, this is the worst part of sports fans. They just boo and they just are irrational. Yes, fans are irrational. Yes, I don't believe in booing. I think booing is corny. I don't understand. I've never went anywhere and booed ever, and I never will. I just don't understand. I don't understand who that stuff is for. Like why? Like I just don't get it. But so I don't agree with that. But I get why he got booed at the same time. He went on a podcast. He went on a podcast and talked about how Tyrese Halliburton, he's giving out this narrative that Tyrese Halliburton is a fake tough guy. Who thought Tyrese Halliburton was a tough guy? Is Miles Turner crazy? Is he slow? Who thought Tyrese Halliburton was a tough guy? Who thought it? Like, that is so weird to say to me. Like, did Tyrese Halliburton punk Miles Turner at practice one day and beat him up? Like, what? Who thought Tyrese Halliburton was I've never been in any conversation and people thought Tyrese Halliburton was a thug. He talks trash. He's a trash talker. He's like Reggie Miller, which is ironic. Reggie Miller wasn't a tough guy, though. He wasn't Charles Oakley. Like what? Like Tyrese Halliburton isn't like Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart. Like who? Like Miles Turner saying that was just weird and like unaware. Nobody thinks Tyrese Halliburton is a tough guy. Why are you saying that? My point being, Tyrese Halliburton, who ruptured his Achilles. You're talking about somebody who's going through a lot right now. You know what I'm saying? And this is the Indiana Pacers. This is their leader. You just left to sign to the Bucks. For you, go get the bag. You got paid. I get it. I don't think it's nothing wrong with you going there. I get it. But that's why they booed you. You just booed their lead. You just talked bad on a podcast about their leader. That's why they booed you, Miles Turner. You didn't know that? Does Miles Turner not have a friend in his life to tell him that? Like, bro, who thought Tyrese Halliburton was a tough guy? I just don't understand that. Like, who thought that? Who thought he was a tough guy? That was one of the that was weirdest. Other than the weird Michael Jordan NBC stuff, that was the weirdest thing said so far this offseason. I mean this NBA season so far. That was the weirdest thing said so far this NBA season. Just weird. You know what I mean? Top two weirdest. The second weirdest or the first weirdest thing said this NBA season so far is from Kenny Smith, who ESPN just announced this week that they was gonna like give him a boost. I hope y'all didn't hear my stomach growl just then. But ESPN announced that they're gonna give Kenny he's gonna be on more shows, he's gonna be on First Take more, sure. I don't get what he's doing with his hair, it looks weird. He had a statement, a comment that he was dead serious about, where he compared Austin Reeves to Jeremy Lin. That's terrible. That's bad. That's not a good take. Bad job, Kenny Smith. And Ernie Johnson kind of tried to check. I think he was serious. He really believes that. He really believes that. He really thought that was he really thinks Jeremy Lin, who had 8 great games in the NBA, and he had a really good career. Jeremy Lin, I remember he was on Houston. He was really good at getting to the basket, getting around pick and rolls. He was really good. Fam, Austin Reeves people was talking about him being an all-star last year, and he might be an all-star this year. What are you talking about? Jeremy Lin, he called him the new Jeremy Lin. Bad job, Kenny Smith. That is why that show makes me angry sometimes. Because it's like, do you dudes watch basketball? I know y'all know the NBA. I know how funny and genuine y'all are, but did y'all watch the games that y'all are talking about? No, y'all don't. I could tell y'all don't. I could tell Steven Jackson don't watch basketball every night, or I don't know what he watching. Steven Jackson came into the year and said he thought the Golden State Warriors had the best 5 in the league. And he mentioned Al Horford as being an important piece of that 5. Al Horford from the 2007 draft. What? I don't understand what these dudes be talking about. I don't get it, man. Like it's some of these takes just get real weird. And I get that I'm in this world now, so I'm being a hypocrite because I'm gonna have bad takes. I'm gonna be wrong, but it's just like just why like I'm doing my NBA ramble now. You notice I'm not talking about games because I didn't watch them. So I'm not gonna talk about how dudes looked in the game because I can't. I'm not. I'm gonna feel like a cornball if I'm just talking about stuff I didn't watch. But that's the era we in. People will not listen to an album and tell you it's trash. For real, they'll not watch a movie and tell you how good or bad it was. I don't do that. If I tell you something's bad, I could back it up. You know what I'm saying? I could really back it up. Couple more things and we get out of here. I went longer than I thought I was gonna go, of course. Um, the Lakers, Luca, AR, Bron, JJ, they killing it right now, man. They really killing it, and Bron's not even playing yet. But something I wanted to talk about, and then I'll talk about Luca. This because I was just talking about like the take culture and the world we're in with takes. And I probably will do this at some point. I'm gonna try not to, but I don't like it. I don't like the marinating of takes. The way people they put like seasoning and they put it in the fridge, they put a little wine and they start marinating takes for stuff that might not even happen or might happen. But they just want to put it out there so it's out there so they can say, yo, I said that. You see, I said this LeBron is gonna come back and slow down the Lakers and he's gonna ruin the Lakers, or they should bring him off the bench, or they should trade. He hasn't even came back yet. Like, and I get it. I get the talk. I get you gotta kind of talk about it. But it's like the take being that when LeBron comes back, he's gonna ruin the Lakers. Did people not watch like just this calendar year, but last season when LeBron was being super Draymond Green? When he was being the best version of Draymond Green. I mean that literally. Like, I'll be point forward and that's it. And I'll make sure I'm do all I can on defense. I legitimately thought by the end of last season, LeBron James was a top 10 defender in the NBA. I thought he should have made second team all defense. I thought he should have. I thought he was playing JJ, Scott Brooks, whoever got to LeBron, and they had that dude playing defense like he hadn't played in a long time, to the point where it hurt him. Like, I think he got hurt from it. Like, it hurt him. And I feel like people already forgot that. Like, LeBron was willing to defer. He's a passive person. He's a passive player who likes to defer. That's the knock on LeBron. The people who criticize Bron, isn't that what they say? He's passive. He's not a killer. Oh, he's not. You don't want to take the last shot. Yeah, he likes to let Luca and Kyrie and whoever take the last shot. That's what he likes to do. So why is this? It's just such the marinating of the take is just to have the take. You just want to say something. Just have like use history in your takes. He just showed y'all last year he's willing to defer. And that's who he's been his whole career. LeBron's never been the me, selfish player. He's never been that type of player. So why would he do that now? I just don't understand that. And Tim Legler said something, take a shot, on the Bill Simmons podcast last week. And it's something that I've noticed about LeBron for like 10 years now. He shows you when he doesn't like his team. Like, he pouts like a kid. Like, he'll sit on the bench like this. Somebody could dunk on somebody from his team and he'll be like this. He'll start doing stuff like that. And when he likes his team, he's the opposite. He's high-fiving dudes. He's laughing. He's doing all that. You know what I'm saying? He was not doing that first week of the season, LeBron. He wasn't. Just go back and look. He wasn't. He's doing that now. And Tim Legler was making that point, like, he's starting to believe in his team. He's starting to see, like, oh, I see what we could. He's looking at the rest of the league, seeing what the Mavs is doing. He's seeing, oh, like, his computer brain is starting to go, like, okay, let me start ramping up to start playing again. I do think LeBron had a real injury, but let me start. So I thought that was a good take from Tim Legler, and I just think people need to stop having these bad LeBron takes, man. Just stop it. Stop having these bad LeBron takes. Like, if you're somebody who gets on your platform and you want to talk negatively or criticize LeBron and you think that's going to get you a lot of clicks and you think you're saying something profound, you're not. You're doing the easiest thing to do in the history of sports is to criticize LeBron James. He's the most criticized athlete ever. Fact. There's nobody, and a part of it is like every LeBron stat. He's played so long, he has more access to hate and dislikes, and you know what I mean? But you're doing the easiest thing in the world. You're not saying anything new or profound. Since the year 2000, people been telling him, you better be the best ever, and criticizing them and holding them accountable. You're not the first person to do it, and you're not saying anything dope or profound. You're not. You're not saying anything cool. You're not. It's just annoying. Last thing, and then we out. I went almost an hour. I went 50 minutes. I ramble. I talk too much. I got my top 5 MVPs right now. Right now, I would go Giannis, Luka, SGA, Joker, and Wemby. Wemby, who Cade has been. I should have talked about the Pistons, man. The Pistons been looking really good. Cade might be in that top 5. Cade might have took Wemby, but Wemby had a good game yesterday. But that's my 5 right now. Luka. The only reason Luka's not number 1 is because he missed 3-4 games so far already. So it's Giannis missed a game too, right? He missed a game or two, but Giannis, that team is just. I don't think that Bucks team is good. I know Ryan Rollins was, and I called him Ryan Hollins last episode, I think, I called him Ryan Hollins. Ryan Rollins, obviously showing some promise, but that team is not that good, and they're probably going to win 54 games all because of Giannis. That's why Giannis is my MVP right now. And that Laker team might actually be really good, and they might have like 3 All-Stars. So, that's it. NBA Ramble. Bad job by the NBA Thursday night, real quick. How? Like, why? And then I thought the NBA definitely should have had some great games Thursday because the NFL, that Raiders Broncos game was terrible. And that's back to a little transparency. I'll be talking NFL against Sunday, but the NBA had one game Thursday. They had Suns versus the Clippers, and the Clippers weren't playing James Harden or Kawhi. Bad game, obviously, terrible game. Jalen Green got going. Bad job by the NBA. Bad job by the NBA with all the streaming services too. Thank God the product is good because it's so hard to watch these games sometimes. But that's it, man. NBA Ramble. That's it. Broken Clock Podcast, Broken Clock Network. Been sipping my hard seltzer. I had fun doing this though, man. I really did. Take another sip before I leave. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do the uncut gems, and I love doing this, man. I'm gonna definitely start doing more frequent stuff. I'm gonna definitely start posting a lot more, and I'm gonna get more into the social media stuff, man. Yeah, that's been another drop of the Broken Clock Podcast, NBA Ramble. I am Jabari. Peace.